Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, since Sim Update 5 yesterday, the honeymoon phase is starting to settle down a little bit and we're starting to dive deeper into the update and what it offers, what it took away, and things like that. What we're going to be looking at in this particular video is one of the things that it brought, which is the brand new G1000 from Working Title that's available directly from the marketplace. So stick around because we're going to check it out. If you are interested in learning how to fly the TBM 930 from Microsoft Flight Simulator, consider joining my Patreon site, level tier 2 or above, which gives you access to all of my guides, which include the A320, the G1000, and now the recently released Cessna Citation Longitude. These guides include everything from cockpit tours to full instructions on how to use all the systems, creating your flight plans, as well as the different types of approaches and takeoffs that are available to the different aircrafts. They are extremely detailed, full with pictures and identifying markers to make your flight sim experience with this aircraft as easy as possible. Again, link down to my Patreon site found in the description below. All right, real quick, guys. Also, I want to thank everyone who joined the live stream last night. It was a ton of fun. A bunch of new people joined up. Make sure you guys check me Tuesday and Friday nights, guaranteed stream times from 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time until at least 8 p.m. Pacific Standard. Last night, we flew 2 different aircraft. It was a really great time. I'll be doing some pop-up streams throughout the week as well. Again, link down in the description below. Would love to chat with you guys real time. Last night was a blast, so thank you for all those who showed up. Now, let's go ahead and get into the new G1000. So first thing you want to do is you want to go to the marketplace here, and you want to make sure that you have free highlighted up here, and then you can see here it is, the G1000NXi. Now, this is again, Working Title Simulations once again bringing us another amazing piece of content. It is important to remember that this is brand new, okay? So it's still in its infancy. You can see here it is an early access product, and you may notice functionality bugs or missing features. So keep that in mind. It's new, but the nice thing about having it directly in the marketplace like this is going to make updating it quite a bit easier and one less thing to manage externally. I can tell you right now the graphical difference just from this picture here is going to be pretty impressive. So again, once you come to this page, you'll click on it. You should have a button here that says Get and Download. You'll select that. It should install it. Then you can go to the Content Manager. And for example, if it was not installed, you'd come here to the not installed menu and you would select it. Let's go ahead and now get in an airplane and check it out. Let's go to the world map. Tucson here. Oh, come on. All right, lagged there a little bit. All right, and let's find an aircraft. Come on. What are you doing to me here, homie? Select the parking spot. Okay, let's move over here. There. Gosh, I don't know what was happening there. All right. And let's find, for example, let's just use our Cessna 172. We know that it carries the 1000, so we'll just do 172. I don't know what I just typed right there, but it was not normal. Pretty sure I hit my numlock button. 172. There we go. And there she is, the 172 G1000. Let's load in. I will say it's much nicer not having to worry about stopping the video recording because the load times have definitely increased. Real quick, I know a lot of people are also having some pretty significant struggles with this latest update, and we will be doing an update here or another video later this evening in regard to some of the features that are new, some of the things that have been broken. We'll be talking about that and what some of the options are. So I am doing my diligence to deep dive into this, guys, and hopefully get you as many answers as I can. All right, so let's go ahead and clear the yokes for a second. Let's get our alternator and battery turned on. Should have turned the standby battery on first. Let's make sure fuel selection is set, parking brake is locked, mixtures at full rich, throttle's cracked halfway. Let's give that fuel pump a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, kick that guy off, throw the beacon light on, nav light on, and magneto to life. And we are up and running. Groovy. All right, avionics 1 and avionics 2. That's all we're going to worry about for today. We're not really going anywhere. So first, let's take a look at the biggest things here. First off, yeah, the graphical interface is definitely a lot nicer. It's much more crisp. The font is much easier to read. And you guys got to remember, I spend all day in these things with most of my videos. The time alone in the the Cessna Citation Longitude, the TBM 930. When I use the Neo Fly, I'm always in the Cessna G1000 right now. So this is definitely a major difference. The mappings down here all look much cleaner. The visibility is significantly improved. So that is a fantastic option there. Now let's start sort of walking our way around. I'm going to start with the basics here. So we got our CDI settings, and it looks like you can see what frequency is now active by the highlight. I don't know. I don't think that was like that before. Oh, there we go. Again, that's pretty awesome. I really do enjoy that. Let's work for our nearest airports. Nearest airports are looking good. Let's see. Oh, we have oh, that's an airport. There's Ryan Towers. You got frequencies. We have VORs. All right, groovy. Good stuff. All right, so let's clear that. Timer. All right, so the timer still works. Transponder. Let's check and see what we got there. So if we're going VFR, cool. 1200 looks like it's on altitude following. Let's go back to that. Yep, so if we turn it on, standby, good. Let's verify all the codes are working. So let's do like 6143. Good, so that's all functional. And it's very responsive, very quick. And again, that's probably more to the sim update than anything, but it could be obviously code optimization as well. All right, so the PFD, we have our synthetic terrain. Pathways, I'm not sure if that does anything or not. I don't have a flight plan loaded, so I'm not sure that it does. Heading label, I don't see any change based on that. And airport signage, we'd have to go around and check. So we'll be diving into that further, but it's kind of cool that these are going to be an option. I don't know if they're actually functional yet. You know what? We'll do that real quick. So when we're all done looking at all the screens, we'll do a real quick takeoff. We'll just sort of taxi down Tucson International, do a quick touch and go kind of thing, and see what options we have that come to life. All right, and then let's see here, standard barometric pressure. So you can actually just click that and boom, it just stays in the 29902. That's kind of awesome. So you can select that very easily. Now that should still work up here as well. Oh, I'm on the frequency. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. All right, so if we change it, we should be able to click it. Oh, maybe not. No. Okay. Can I click here? Nope. So that's where that would come in handy. I'm going to have to redo my G1000 guide. So then we click that. Boom. Back to 29902. And then you can just, let's see, can we just rotate down or you have to change it again? Looks like you have to change it again. So again, back to PFD. So sure, oh, you have your altimeter units in meters, inches, and hectopascals. We have our bearing 1 and bearing 2 needles. So there's bearing 1. That's kind of cool. Bearing 2. Wind options. Nice. Nice. And it's registering this on the ground. It almost never does it on the ground for me. I always have to wait till I'm airborne before I get any feedback from this. So this is pretty handy. I mean, that's only at 1 knot. So that is fantastic. Now, I don't know if that's modeled based on which way the aircraft's facing too. I mean, obviously it's got to go through one of the sensor tubes, right, in order to depict that, I would think. Unless it's getting it from a, some sort of weather station. I don't know. So we'll have to check into that. That's kind of neat. So these are options have been here before, obviously, but again, I'm liking the layout significantly better. And then my biggest thing with the wind is, as far as I can remember, I never get any wind reading when I'm actively on the ground. So that helps. All right, let's go back. And let's take this back off the standard. I see, okay. Oh, and it returns it to its previous setting. Huh, neat. All right. Excuse me. Map in the HSI. So let's see what we got here. So map versus the layout. HSI map. Well, I'll be damned. TFC map. Now, okay, so what's the difference between TFC map and Inset map. I don't see a difference there. Interesting. All right, well, we'll have to dive into that a little bit more. Unless it's a repeater. Really hard to say at the moment. All right, well, again, yeah, we'll dive into that, find out what the difference between TFC is. If any of you guys know, please let me know what is the difference between TFC and the inset map, because as far as obviously what we're seeing on the screen, I can't see any difference. What I do like is that. That's pretty neat. Now, can we still zoom in and out using that? Yes, you can. Hot darn. I like that. So one of my biggest things, and it really doesn't matter what I'm doing, is screen clutter. I hate screen clutter. Like, I still play World of Warcraft, you know, the Burning Crusade. And, you know, anytime I do my buttons, things like that, I got to get it off the screen. Like, I hate having screen clutter. So I really like this. I don't know how many of you guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, how you guys feel about this one. I think that is really cool. I mean, we're always looking at our HSI, right? Or CDI. Anyway, all right, so let's move on. Weather doesn't look like any of that's happening yet. So these are all PFD options, so I don't need to look at the MFD yet. Let's see here. So detail doesn't seem to have any functionality yet. Traffic. I'm not seeing any indication that anything's changing there. Topographical map. Nothing yet. Relative terrain. Nothing yet. NextRad. Nothing yet. MEDAR. Doesn't look like anything yet. And lightning. Doesn't look like anything yet. Now, some of these may not be functional on the ground. I mean, because I don't know what the restriction is for the weather radar as far as physically being able to be turned on with weight on wheels. I doubt it has a weight on wheels sensor, but we never know. We might find out more when we get airborne. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the G1000 PFD. I mean, we still have our flight plan. Oh, that is much cleaner. So the difference here is the origin, en route, and destination fields were not previously there in the older versions of the working title G1000. So the layout is much nicer here. Again, the direct, looks like we have a direct to, or is this direct from? Interesting. We have altitude, offset. So you can actually set an offset. I wonder if you can actually do that. Anyway. Or if that's just our offset. Well, here, let's just do this. Let's put something in here. So let's say we were going from here to Phoenix. Well, here, let's do... Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, you know what? Let's do that. Yeah, we'll fly from here to Ryan Field. It's like 5 minutes. Literally. All right, here. Go. KR. Why am I not braining right now? You guys have to forgive me. We're waiting to hear on another a possible house, and this is like the fifth one we tried for. So my brain's a little off right now. I'm not gonna lie. So forgive me for this scatterbrain. So it's been a rough and kind of scary fight. All right. So there's Ryan Field, and so if I wanted that, we would just hit enter. Activate. Now, what if I wanted? Well, no, so that just changed that. What if we want to do a field change? If I click that again. So I'm not sure what the altitude and offset is all about. I don't seem to be able to, a hold option though. So we could set a hold, a fix hold. All right, we're gonna have to play around with that at some point too. All right, so let's go ahead and just hit activate. And look at that. It even gives you sort of a twirly there. All right, so that opens up flight plan, direct to Ryan, origin. Yeah, let's set our origin. What am I doing? Enter. Select. No, that's changing that. Where am I? Ah, there we go. Okay, so you got to go to the line below. And I promise I'll be faster this time. KTUS. Try to keep my head in the game here. KTU Sierra. This really isn't bad as far as having to enter all this stuff in with the wheel. It's a little weird, but Okay, so we could select a runway. Do I just use the rotary? Yep. What's our wind direction coming in from 280, so we'll be using runway 29 right. Oh, passed it. Press enter. Boom. And press enter again to accept. Okay, that's really slick. I'm really liking this. Okay, so we got all that done. We're good there. So let's go to enter procedures. And we have our select approach arrival. Now, we're not going to enter an approach or anything in, but let's go ahead and select it, see what it looks like. So same kind of, same variables. All right. Very nice layout. I like it. All right, let's come out of the procedures. Let's come out of the flight plan menu. We're done there. Menu, doesn't seem like anything's operative yet. Doing all the push and dials and everything doesn't seem to be... Oh, that's just our zoom from there. I really like that. Like, I'm really enjoying that. That is awesome. Okay, so let's move over to the MFD and see what options we have here. If there's anything that's... See, this looks much, much cleaner. This is much cleaner to me. Everything's very easy to read. Let's back out a second here. I mean, yeah, it gets a little fuzzy, no different than anything else, right? You know, but all in all, the deep black makes it much better. It really does. Yeah, I don't know why, but it definitely looks like a much higher resolution screen, which makes it a lot easier to read, especially when you are in a high resolution monitor. Anyway, okay, so let's keep tapping up here. So engine. What do we got here? Lean and system. All right, we'll come back. Let's start with system. Reset fuel. Gallons remaining. I don't see anything changing there. So maybe these aren't functioning yet. But still, at least tells us what's coming, right? I believe that's reset fuel quantity. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, guys, please comment. And I actually do have a real-world G1000 guide or a document, so I'll dive into some of these too as well and find out what they're supposed to do. So it doesn't look like really any of this is functional yet. Yeah, see, like this one, I have no idea what that means. Cylinder select, maybe? Yeah, we'd have to see. And I would definitely, like I said, I'll look through the real world documentation, but this is really promising. I mean, that's leaning out. That makes me think that it's going to at least tell us what our mixture settings should be. Did we see anything change up here? You know what? I wonder if anything changed on the RPM gauge. I didn't see anything. But let's keep an eye up there for a second and see if anything does. It doesn't look like it. And I'm not seeing anything turn on or off either. So like any lights indicating that something has changed or been triggered. So, but that's okay. That's cool. So it doesn't look like there's a whole lot that has changed, in particularly with the MFD yet. But it seems like there's some pretty awesome things coming. Yeah, guys, this is so much easier to read. I know for a fact that they've changed this. This is much easier to read. Really stoked. So I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and take it for a little flight. We're just going over to Ryan Field, nowhere far. Like I said, yeah, 15 miles away, nothing crazy. We'll just take it in. I'm not going to worry about flying patterns and things like that. We're just seeing what features are available with the aircraft once we're airborne, seeing if anything changes when weight is off wheels. It shouldn't. Like I said, I can't imagine a Cessna 172 has weight on wheels restrictions, but we'll see. We'll see. So let's go ahead and go for a quick flight, see what it's like using the new CDI and the inset map or the overlay map right on the CDI. Whoa, and what do we have? We have our speeds. That's going to be rotation speed of 55 knots. Best rate of climb at 62 knots. Best speed at 68 knots, and I think what's this going to be? This is going to be maximum takeoff performance, 74 knots, right? I don't know what the G means. I've never seen that G before, but those are definitely our speed calculations. So I'll dive into that as well and get maximum clarification for that. I think I had that right. I'm pretty sure that's rotation, best angle, best speed. I'm not sure what the G is. We'll have to check it. We'll have to take a look at that. Maybe, well, definitely not cruise speed. Maybe that's cruise speed. No, because Y is going to be vertical. Anyway, yep, I digress. I'll worry about that later. Let's use the B key to set our altimeter. Well, 29903. It's moving so smoothly. You know, and the other thing we'll do as a test, just because I wanted to test this yesterday, so it doesn't harm anything to hurt it now, or to do it now. I'm going to set the screen refresh rate to high and see if we get any significant performance degradation. So again, with this new G3000, and since everything with this update is really focused around FPS, it really is, let's go ahead and turn the FPS counter on. Now, you guys know, typically I'm not one to focus on FPS, but I know that it's really important for you guys right now. It's definitely the focal point of this update, so let's just turn it on. So on high at the moment. Refresh rate, and remember, for those of you who don't know, the LCD screens were a killer for FPS. That's why everyone always tuned them down to medium or lower. So hopefully we'll get great performance. Let me get the old head tracker plugged in here, and we'll get on our way. Alright, so bet a bunch of you were wondering why I didn't have any sound. I was too. Alright, don't worry, that'll get fixed in about 2 seconds. Get myself situated here. Alright, and let's release that parking brake. Come on. And let's turn on the taxi light. And I think everything else is good to go. Oh, let's turn the pitot heat on. Alright, let's get this little lady out of here and see how we do today. Brakes tested. And we'll join the taxiway for 2908. We'll be taking Alpha all the way out to Alpha 11, I think is what's out there, if I have my numbers correct. Now, as we're taking a look at all this, I do want to remind everyone of a couple of things. First off, remember, Tucson, not a big city. Okay, we are a good sized city, definitely not a huge city. Nowhere close to the size of Phoenix or LA or any of those large areas. So when we take a look at frame rate and performance, things like that, please keep that into consideration. But it's my home, it's where I like to fly, so that's, I imagine most of us are the same way. We like to fly, near our hometowns. So it makes it fun. I will catch you guys in just a minute or two. I'll let you know if anything happens. But it's a pretty long taxi. I don't want to bore you guys with that. So we'll be back. Alright, so we're holding short of the runway. I was trying to use the ATC, but I still cannot get any audio from it. I don't know what's wrong, but it doesn't work. I don't know why. I have everything turned on, but I can't make it work. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the runway. Let's do flaps 1, strobe lights on, landing lights on. Let's, even though tower cleared us, let's check the skies. I don't see anything out there. Let's roll out. Alright, let's rock and roll. Power to the wall. Airspeed alive. There's 55 knots. The trim is much more responsive now. I do love that. 300 feet, flaps up. If anything, let me adjust the microphone so you guys make sure that you guys can hear me okay. If anything, the trim is super sensitive. Alright, so I'm going to use some of my quick controls here. Let's lock in our altitude. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the autopilot. Capturing that 2,400 feet. Oh wow, look at that. Ha, nice. The new enunciators sound great. But let's solve that problem, shall we? Cool. Let's check out vertical speed. Wow. They don't mess around with that warning, do they? Alright, let's tune that down before we're not in a TBM. I just wanted to get the alert to stop. Alright, let's check out our heading mode. So heading bud's locked in. Let's turn us towards our flight plan here. Cool. What's this swaying all about? Alright, so there's bug number one, it looks like. Well, I can't just... So that was a little odd, but it looks like it smoothed out. Alright, so it acquired. That could have been my incredibly bad flying too. Alright, so let's see what we got, if anything changes here. Let me get rid of this here. No, that was the transponder. That was working fine. Although we didn't turn it on. Doesn't look like any of that changes, which is a shame. So, not in a shame in a bad way, just, you know, obviously that's exciting. So, it looks like all the features that we saw on the ground are accurate. It does look like it has the top of descent calculation in it, though. That's what that is. So that kind of makes me wonder. We'll have to dive into that. She's got VNAV. So I wonder. We'll just pick one here. VPath is enabled. We're going to have to play around with that a little bit more. I wonder if we actually enter in the altitudes. Wow, that was fast. Interesting. So we definitely look like we have a lot more features, or many more features, gosh, good grammar, many more features coming to this G1000 that are going to be really exciting once they come into play. I obviously have some more updating to do on the guides. Clearly VNAV is an option as the VPath indicator does come on the screen. We have the guidance needles up here at the top of the altimeter or altitude tape. There are a ton of features with this, so I highly recommend you guys grab this. Also, it is very important, remember to remove the previous versions of the G1000. Do not install them on top of each other. You'll definitely have bugs. That is something Work Untitled themselves have made very clear. For everyone else, let's bring it down and call it a day. I am super excited with this. I'm going to disengage the autopilot. I love the new sounds. The avionics sounds are amazing. And remember, I told you guys that I wasn't worried about how I was flying or patterns or anything like that today, that we were just checking out the avionics. But what's a good flight without a landing? Let's go back to full rich. Whoa. Okay, that's annoying. I don't feel like I was descending that fast. Oh, I guess I was at like 600 feet per minute. I'll take that back. I was descending quickly. Let's go flaps 2. Start slowing this little lady down. Let's switch to the smaller runway. Full flaps. Got a nice little crosswind. Oh, look at that. You're now getting new enunciations. Tells you what your next direct waypoint is up there. That was beautiful. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of new information with this G1000. We're definitely going to have to make sure to do a full flight with this. Ironically enough, I want to do another NeoFly. NeoFly has been updated, obviously, since 2.5. So or 2.5, Sim Update 5. Thinking DCS World there for a second. So we'll definitely be checking that out, because it seems like there are many features that we have yet to see with this new G1000. So I am super excited for this. I love everything Working Title has been putting out. So let me know what you guys think so far down in the comments below about this new G1000. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for me, guys. And definitely be sure to catch me on the next stream. I always announce it on YouTube in the comments before I actually get it going. But definitely it will be this Friday at 6 p.m. Hopefully we'll be flying a little bit before then. But anyway, guys, have a great rest of the week. Stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you guys very soon.